Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, if you will indulge me for a second, let me tell you a story. The first church that I remember attending, I was probably 4 years old, but it was the Norwich Street Baptist Church in Brunswick, Georgia. A beautiful old red brick building, still there today. But I attended with my mom and dad, my sister, my two brothers. The Hodges family sat on the same pew every Sunday. And on the next pew, there was a family named Mobley. The Mobley family sat on the next pew over from the Hodges family. I remember Mr. and Mrs. Mobley. They had an older daughter, named Sheila. And Sheila had, I think, 3 brothers. Sheila was 9 or 10 years older than me, so we didn't really get to know each other. But she had a brother my age, a brother named Ricky. Ricky and I went 12 years of school together, and we became very, very good friends. So one of the stories here is that in that little red brick church in Brunswick, Georgia, on the south end of town, those pews held 2 people who would sit in this chamber. 2 people. Sheila, Mobley, McNeil, and me. But that's not the story. That's not the real story. Let me tell you the real story. The real story is that it was easier for me to get here than it was for Sheila. When Sheila was growing up in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and beyond, it was hard, very hard for a female to attain station and responsibility in society, and particularly in business. You might not realize that as much today, and you don't realize it because it's easier today. And it's easier for females today because of Sheila and people like Sheila. For that, we all owe her a debt of gratitude. Now, those of you who served with Sheila know what I mean when I speak of Sheila's force of nature and her sense of purpose. Sheila dedicated her life to her family, to her community of Brunswick and Kings Bay, and to the Navy. I don't need to list all of her accomplishments, you know those, and I will remind you that she was the first and only woman to ever run the Navy League. She was the national president of the Navy League. So this scholarship fund is a fitting tribute to Sheila's life work. So I'm proud to participate, and I hope you will too. And let me also mention that working its way through the Senate right now is Senate Resolution 439. And what that will do will be to rename a stretch of Osborne Road in Camden County, Georgia, which will include the new Camden County Subbase Museum, which Sheila dedicated her life to Kings Bay and to the Navy and to that subbase. So, Leslie, let me reiterate that I loved your mother. I love Sheila. I was honored to follow her. I told you before that I had really big little shoes to fill, and I'm trying to do that. So I hope that you'll participate, and thank you for indulging me. Thank you, Mr. President.